You know, when you get into a new car these days, it feels like you're stepping into the future, right? They are just packed with screens and sensors, all this crazy futuristic tech. But here's the question. Is all of this new stuff actually making our drives better? Or is it, well, just getting in the way?
And boom, that right there is the heart of it all. This quote just nails the frustration that so many of us are feeling. We're promised this smarter, slicker, easier experience, but the reality can be, well, exactly the opposite.
So what we have is this huge gap between the promise and the reality. The ads tell us we're getting a seamless co-pilot, something that's there to help. But what it often feels like is a really annoying backseat driver who just won't shut up and thinks it knows best.
So today, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. We're gonna break down 9 features that sound incredible in the brochure, but in the real world are just maddening. Let's dig in and figure out why they missed the mark so badly.
First up, let's talk about what I'm calling the control conundrum. This is all about those moments when a super simple task, like turning on the heat, suddenly becomes this epic battle against your own car. And it's a fair question, right? Why on earth does it feel like you need a pilot's license just to change the radio station? Let's meet a few of the main offenders.
Oh, voice control. The dream of just saying what you want and poof, it happens. But the reality? It's more like getting into an argument with your dashboard. Play my 80s playlist. Calling mom, no, play my playlist. You end up shouting, it gets confused by road noise, and it's just exhausting.
And then you've got its fancy cousin, gesture control. You do the little twirly finger motion to turn up the volume, and nothing happens. So you do it again, a bit bigger this time. Still nothing. Then you reach over to adjust your mirror, and bam! The volume blasts to 100. There's just no in-between.
Now this is a big one, because it's not just annoying, it's a real safety issue. Car designers got rid of those chunky, physical knobs we could use without even looking. Now, to change the fan speed, you have to take your eyes off the road, hunt for a tiny icon on a glossy screen, and hope you hit the right spot. It's a huge step backward.
Okay, next section. Let's talk about when help isn't actually helpful at all. I'm talking about those driver assists that are supposed to make our lives easier, but they don't. They just get in the way.
And this just says it all, doesn't it? The automatic parking experience. You push the button, you slowly creep past an open spot. The car is thinking, it's still thinking, maybe it decides the spot is an inch too small. After what feels like an eternity, you just sigh, turn it off, and parallel park yourself in about 10 seconds.
And it's not just the parking. Lane keep assist can feel like you're wrestling with the steering wheel on a city street. Adaptive cruise control, it either slams on the brakes or takes forever to get back up to speed, making for a really jerky ride. And don't get me started on some heads-up displays that just clutter your entire view with useless information.
All right, our last category is maybe the most frustrating. It's all about fixing what isn't broken. This is when car makers take a perfectly good, simple mechanical system and replace it with something new and electronic that just isn't an improvement. Think about the handbrake, that classic lever. You pull it, you feel the clicks, you know it's engaged. It's satisfying. Now we have this little button. Sure, it looks sleek, but there's zero physical feedback. You just have to trust a little light on the dash. And you can't help but wonder, what happens if that button decides not to work one day?
And the start-stop system. The goal is great, right? Save a little fuel at a red light, but the reality is that constant shudder when the engine turns off and on, that split-second delay when the light turns green and you want to go. For a lot of people, the tiny amount of gas you save just isn't worth the non-stop annoyance.
So, after going through all these gripes, what's the big takeaway? Where do we land on all this? Let's wrap it all up.
And honestly, it really is as simple as that. New tech is exciting, it's cool, no one's denying that. But when it comes to the things we rely on every single day, like our cars, sometimes the simplest, most reliable solution is just better. Simplicity wins.
So what's the lesson here? It's that good design is always about the person using it. It means we still need physical buttons for the important stuff. It means valuing systems that are intuitive and don't make us think too hard. And above all, it means making sure that technology actually serves the driver, instead of just being a flashy gimmick to sell more cars. So, with all that said, I have to turn the question over to you. What's the one feature in a car you've driven that just absolutely drives you up the wall? I'm sure you've got some good ones.